Tactical Pascal, welcome to the channel. I hope this finds you all safe and well. In this video, I'm going to be reviewing the Authentikit Spitfire Mk IX controls by Authentikit, funnily enough. Full disclosure, I was sent this kit for free to review. However, all opinions on the setup and the controls are mine and not going to be influenced by anyone from Authentikit. So, I'm going to cover what the controls are, how they're assembled, how they feel, why they exist, and of course, how you can get your hands on some. So, a bit of backstory, I was contacted by Phil from Authentikit. Now, he'd seen one of my Spitfire videos on DCS and he emailed me, and of course I'm paraphrasing, he said something along the lines of, "Pascal, you're the greatest DCS Spitfire pilot. Would you review these controls?" Now, in all seriousness, he saw one of the videos and he saw that I have a passion for flying the Spitfire and DCS, so he said, could I review them? So, Authentikit make controls for flight sims, but unlike most companies, they're 3D printed. If you get a 3D printer, then it's as easy as downloading the plans and printing them off. It will take you about 200 hours, mind. And of course, you've then got to buy the wiring and switches that go inside and assemble it yourself. Now, if you don't have a 3D printer, you can order a full kit from Authentikit website, link in the description below, and you assemble it at home. Now, I'll bring up the website and show the prices of the kits now. So, pricing for the kits. Now, if you want to have the Mk IX spade grip, that's going to cost you £99 plus postage and packaging for the hardware and self-printed parts. So the hardware is all the wires and gubbins that go inside it. If you don't have a 3D printer, that's going to set you back £227 with postage and packaging. Now that's the full kit 3D printed and sent to you. More on that later. If you want the throttle and trim wheels like I have, it's £82 with postage and packaging for the hardware, so that's if you self-print the product itself for you. 257 postage and packaging if it's the full kit, which includes all the 3D printed parts and then the gubbins that goes inside. I like the term gubbins. That's what I look at the boxes when they came out. That's a lot of gubbins. So it is fairly expensive. However, when you compare that to other joysticks on the market at the minute, it's about the same price, but this is a unique product and I'll discuss more on that in a little minute. Assembly. Now, the kit comes in pieces for you to assemble, so every screw, wire and button has to be assembled by you. Now, for me, someone who has a hard time with Lego, it was a daunting thought. I mean, I've wired a plug a couple of times in my life, but this was going to be next level. Enter Phil from Authentikit. Now, not only does Phil have the brain the size of a planet to design all this 3D printed stuff, he's also got a cracking YouTube channel that covers absolutely everything in depth about the assembly process. If you ever get stuck, look at the video, you will get unstuck. They've also got a Discord group where you can post any problems that you might have and someone there is going to help you to build it. Only problem I had was I put a magnet in the wrong way, which affected the lever, and then I took it out, put it back in on Phil's advice. So I was sent the elevator and trim wheels first, and they were very, very easy to assemble. The footage you can see now is me actually sitting in my kitchen assembling it. Now, the throttle quadrant came next, and while it was more challenging, it was ultimately just as easy to build. It just took a little bit longer. Now, the hub itself, which is where everything connects to your PC via one USB connection, it's easy as well to assemble, and the wiring diagrams you're sent, and of course any help you need from the Discord group or just looking at the videos, it's simple to assemble. A monkey like myself managed it, so I'm sure you could as well. Now, why do these controls exist? So I spoke to Phil as to why he even decided to make the controls, and his answer was perfect. Chasing immersion. And it's something as flight sim enthusiasts we all share, no matter your preferred sim, if it's DCS, flight sim, IL2, X-Plane, we all chase immersion. There's no control set up quite like this. The Authentikit controls add to the experience of flying the sims in the same way a Warthog or a Virpil does, but for warbirds, this is entirely unique. And it's not just Spitfire stuff, they've got P-40B stuff, general aviation, and now in development they've also got Mosquito controls. Ultimately though, how do they feel? Regardless of how interesting a product the controls are, ultimately it comes down to how they perform and how they feel. I've had many HOTAS setups in recent years, from the X52 to my current Warthog setup, and honestly, going from the heavy metal construction of the Warthog back to a light plastic product felt quite strange. I'm not quite sure if you move from a Thrustmaster setup or an X52 from that sort of plastic feel back to this would feel quite as strange, but certainly I noticed the difference going from a metal product to a plastic one. Now, I say light, I mean the material itself, because it's 3D printed plastic, it is a light material, but you can adjust the tension of the controls, giving the build a more robust feel. So when you're actually assembling it itself, you can choose how heavy you need to push that control forward. Now, taxi, takeoff and combat are all amazing experiences in the Spitfire, and flight is made really simple. The accuracy and control over trimming is outstanding. The throttle and RPM levers are really accurate, allowing fine tuning so you can choose that perfect engine and RPM setting so you don't overcook the engine in the fight. But honestly, where this shines is when you fly in VR. It's a truly immersive experience, sticking on your headset and being transported back in time to being in the cockpit of a Spitfire. But there are side effects. You may be sitting there in your house just going, Gannick 2, Tally 1 engaging, stick me a clipper, I'll be back for breakfast, as you feel you're now a Spitfire pilot. So how can you get these controls? Well, you can go onto the website and you can download the plans, 3D print them, and then order the gubbins, as I said earlier, from SimKit Supplies. Again, link in the description below. But if you don't have a 3D printer, what you can do is order the full kit from Authentikit. They have approved printing personnel in the US and Europe. And basically, they're people who have shown they can print off these kits to a high quality. More on that on the Authentikit YouTube channel, because Phil can explain it much better than I ever could. Now, in summary, the Authentikit Spitfire Mk IX controls are simply remarkable. Not only did a monkey like me get a huge sense of achievement from building them, but the level of immersion was increased. I highly recommend the controls. Their design's excellent. The Authentikit Discord community and Phil from Authentikit are absolutely brilliant at helping out should you at any point get stuck. That's it. That's the review of Authentikit Spitfire Mk IX controls. I recommend you go and get them because they are amazing. If you fly warbirds, you need this in your life. Don't forget, of course, to click like and subscribe for more great content. Head over to Authentikit, click like and subscribe there, and follow the process as Phil designs and builds new and exciting things for us simmers. So, until next time, thank you very much for watching. Tactical Pascal out. Guns. Oh, tagged him. All in, all right. That's miss. Fire. Yep, there we go. Night, night.